Hey guys, it's Seagrove again, finally back after a very long break. So the reason I haven't been making too many videos, there's a few reasons. I've been really busy, and then I haven't been able to go to a tournament recently, and I've been really lost in this format after playing in formats where it was all super fast items, shamans, and then moving into this format, I was just so lost and didn't feel like I could make a video about a rogue deck um, that was being honest. Um, so I went to a League Cup today and I got third place and I could have won it, but I did not play very well in top cut. Um, Even in top 8, I won, but I did not play well. Um, I had good matchups the whole way through. If I had won, I would have had a good matchup at the finals too, but I just didn't play well. So, how did I top cut, get third place in a tournament where I'm not comfortable in the format and I am not practiced in the format and I did not play well? Um, and the answer is net decking. And people hate net decking. And if you've ever heard the phrase, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, I obviously disagree with that. But I say the phrase, if you're not net decking, you're not trying, sort of as a joke. But I think a lot of people are too proud to net deck. And I think it's at least a great place to start a list from if you're not comfortable with deck building. And it's it works. They're good decks for a reason, especially if you know the format or you know what the meta is going to be like. And I didn't feel like I could deck build. I consider myself a good deck builder, and I'm not in this format. And I just admitted that to myself, and I neck decked this list from Schulz in Germany. He's one of the best players in the world. I saw his list. I said, that looks good. Actually, when I first saw it, I said, that looks terrible. But I gave it a chance, and I played it 3 games in testing, and I loved it. I said, I'm playing this, and I went into the tournament not knowing how to play the deck, and it was a mistake. And it was a mistake to not test it more. But the deck worked really well. Round one, I played against a friend who's pretty good. He's playing Decidueye Ninetales, but I just drew like perfectly, and he didn't draw great. Um, I think I had a decent chance anyways, but he didn't draw great, so it didn't feel that amazing to win. But I was like, hey, a win's a win. Round two, I played against another friend. He's playing Zorark Drampa, and it was the first time I'd ever seen that deck, and I was like, I have no idea how this plays. And so I just went. I went second. I went second every single round. And then um, I get to a point where he has 5 bench Pokemon down, and he hasn't played a Magma base. So at that point, I realize he doesn't have a Magma base down. I can win this. I control the game. He doesn't have a Magma base in his deck, because otherwise he wouldn't have benched all 5 spots. So he gave me that information, and I knew I could completely control the game because I didn't have to put damage on to win. I just decided I'm not going to put damage on, and he won't be able to hit for 150 with Drampa. I could only put down 3 bench Pokemon so that he could only hit me for 100 or with a Choice Band less. A little bit more with Zorark. And the most he can do with Zorark Breaks attack would be 100 or 130 with, no, 100. I guess 110 with a band if he's copying Darkrai's second attack. But I just realized I am in complete control of this game because I have control over all of his damage modifiers. So I just didn't attack. I would just pass until I could not one-shot something, and I didn't do damage unless I could one-shot, and I just won that round. So that round I actually played very well, and it felt good to come up with a way to beat the deck while I was playing. Round three, I played against another friend, and he was playing Sylveon, and he didn't get an energy. He went first and didn't get an energy. Like I said, in Swiss, I didn't go first. And then I donked him. And it's a really easy matchup against Sylveon anyway. So it was one of the few test games I'd done, and it's a very, very easy matchup. So I was just lucky there. Um, but you win anyways because Baby Vettel just keeps getting you your energies back. Then round four, we ID'd, but we played it out for fun. And I was playing against Garb Trevenant, and I beat it. It's a very easy matchup. And then round five, I ID'd again, and I was playing against Volcanion, another good friend, and so a lot of people I know did pretty well at this tournament. But he's playing Volcanion. Volcanion's actually a hard matchup, but if we ID'd, we would both get in, so we just ID'd, and we were in top 8. Then in top 8, I played against Drampa Garb, and this is a very easy matchup for the deck, which is partly why I played it. And I didn't play that well. Like I've said in my articles, the Get Good series, about my Achilles heels are fatigue, and it was one of mine. And that I was tired, but I let it get to me a little bit. But more than that, I was playing a deck that I'm not used to. I'm not used to, and against a mechanic I'm not really used to against Garbodor. But I was used to it enough that it wasn't a problem. Like I made a couple small errors. Like I probably made 3 or 4 small errors that I knew as soon as I did them, but they weren't game changing. So I still won. And then in top 4, I played against the same Garb Trev player who I'd beaten before, and I forgot what Trev did. Like when we had played our game for fun, he barely used Trev, and I just wasn't really paying attention and whatever. I don't know. I forgot what Trev did, and I left myself with 5 items in hand, and he puts on a Choice Band, evolves into Trevenant, retreats into it, puts on a DCE, and hits me for 180 to knock out my Darkrai. And I ended up losing the game for that mistake, and I was like, okay, as long as I don't dead draw, I should win. I'm just not going to make that mistake again. And so the next round, or the next game, I was like, okay, I have 5 cards in hand. 5 items in hand. I need to play one, so I played one, or 5 trainers. I played one, and I was like, okay, now I'm safe. I knocked out, and I drew a card off my prizes that was a trainer, and I was like, that is a mistake I have made multiple times, forgetting that the number of cards in my hand will change when I take a prize, and all the things that come along with that. Or like, oh, I'm going to Sky Return so I can use Shaman, but then when you Sky Return, you go from 3 cards to 5 cards, and you draw for turn, you're at 6 cards, and Shaman ends up only drawing you like 1 card, or even no cards, depending on how many you had in hand. It's something I forget, like, oh, my hand count is going to change after I attack. So that's something I need to work on. And then, so I ended up losing this game as well for the same mistake, and I just felt so bad. Like, I was embarrassed. I was like, I'm so bad. I just felt like, oh, I'm so bad. How did I let this happen twice? So, I ended up losing, and the reason is because when I'm playing a new deck, I lose sight of my fundamentals because I have to focus on the deck I'm playing. And then in this matchup, I wasn't only just focusing on the deck I was playing, so normally I can sort of keep my fundamentals close to peak while I'm playing a deck that I'm not comfortable with. But because I was also playing against a deck that I'm not comfortable with the matchup, I'd never even tested against the Trev, and I just lost to it. Because I misplayed on a fundamental thing, like, oh, I can keep his damage down by playing this properly. But I'm not thinking about all that. I'm worrying about my deck, and so I just made a mistake because I wasn't playing a deck I was comfortable with. So I lost myself the series, and he played it really well, and I played it really badly, and he deserved to win. And so it felt really bad, but I It was like, you know what? Congratulations, dude. You deserved it. You outplayed me. And yeah, it's just something to keep in mind when you're picking up a new deck. Like, you need to test it in a lot of different scenarios because you need to get used to the deck so that you don't forget about, so you can play well. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. So, see you next time.